Kyoto, 1889. A narrow wooden shop. Satoru Yamauchi opens the door to something he doesn't yet know is immortal. Nintendo. It means leave luck to heaven. For 90 years, that's all they did. Cards. Just. The founder's great-grandson is 22 years old. His grandfather has a stroke. The dynasty needs a new king. And Hiroshi Yamauchi? He barely knows what a balance sheet is. Everyone's older. Everyone's watching. He has no experience, no degree, just a name. So he fires someone, not because he's cruel, because he's 22, and if he doesn't establish authority right now, the whole thing collapses. The 60s. Nintendo creates all sorts of new games. Ultra Hand, Love Tester, Hip Flip, Very Weird. Then 1973. The oil crisis hits. The lights go out. The factory goes dark. Nintendo is drowning. Hiroshi Yamauchi makes a vow. We will never borrow money again. He builds a fortress of cash. Today, that fortress is $6 billion. He takes Nintendo back to its roots. Entertainment. Toys. Small electronic gadgets on wooden benches. 1977. The color TV game. 3 million units. Kids crowding around glowing screens and dark arcades, playing Space Invaders. He hires a young artist, Shigeru Miyamoto. Together they create Donkey Kong and a plumber in red overalls who will become the most famous face on Earth. In 1983, Famicom is launched in Japan. The first batch is glitchy. They recall every single one. Then it becomes unstoppable. In New York, 1985, the NES arrives in a toy store window. Retailers say the game industry is dead. But Nintendo had only just begun. Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, The Legend of Zelda. Nintendo doesn't sell games, they sell worlds. 1989. Game Boy was released. It looked like a gray brick with a 2-inch green screen. It sells 1 million units in America within weeks. Tetris was included in the bundle, and 35 million copies were sold. The game was enjoyed by every age. The 90s. Nintendo dominates. Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64. GoldenEye. Gaming became a social event. Hiroshi Yamauchi has led the company for 53 years. He turned a playing card shop into a $4.5 billion empire. But in 2002, he steps down. The boardroom goes quiet. Everyone expects a businessman, a marketer, someone safe. Yamauchi chooses someone nobody expects. A programmer, Satoru Iwata. Born in Hokkaido, 1959, studied computer science at Tokyo Institute of Technology, a man of ideas. HAL Laboratory, 5 employees in a small office. Iwata programs Balloon Fight, Earthbound, Kirby. He is the game's creator. 1992. HAL is on the verge of bankruptcy. 5 billion yen in liabilities. The Japanese asset bubble has burst. Hiroshi Yamauchi calls. He will save HAL on one condition. Iwata must become president, or everyone loses their job. Iwata sits at a president's desk for the first time. He promises to pay back 1.5 billion yen in 6 years. By 1999, HAL is debt-free. In 2000, Iwata walks into Nintendo headquarters in Kyoto. 2 years later, Yamauchi retires, and Satoru Iwata becomes president of Nintendo. The board is skeptical. He's the first president from outside the Yamauchi family in over a century, but he has a philosophy no one else has. On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer, but in my heart, I am a gamer. GameCube launches. Powerful, but it sells only 21 million units. Sony's PlayStation 2 sells over 150 million. Iwata looks at the numbers. He draws a new line on the whiteboard. We will not compete on specs. We will compete on surprise. The Nintendo DS. 2 screens, touch controls. It becomes the second best-selling console of all time. 154 million units. Brain age. Nintendogs. Nintendo stops selling to gamers. They start selling to everyone. Grandmothers, commuters, doctors. The Wii came along with no complex controller, just motion, just play. It was revolutionary. 101 million units. Wii Sports becomes the best-selling game of a generation. A grandfather bowls in his pajamas. A kid boxes the air. Iwata is everywhere at E3, Los Angeles. He holds up a Wii remote. The crowd erupts. The programmer has become a showman. He starts Nintendo Direct, stares into the camera holding bananas as props. No press, no filters, just Iwata being human. By 2009, Nintendo is the most valuable company in Japan, richer than Sony. Iwata has built an empire, but empires fall, and Nintendo is about to fall hard. The Nintendo 3DS. It launches at $250. It sells poorly, and that is a disaster. Iwata knows. He slashes the price to $170, and then he does something no CEO in gaming has ever done. He cuts his own salary by 50%. His base salary was around $770,000. Board members take 20 to 30% cuts too. The deduction of fixed compensation is what we volunteered to do in order to show our sincere attitude and to fulfill our responsibility. The price cut works. The 3Ds recovers. 75 million units sold. But the damage to Nintendo's confidence runs deeper than the numbers show. The Wii U. A console with a tablet controller. The name confuses everyone. They think it's a Wii accessory. The marketing is a disaster. It sells 9.2 million units, 1/10 of the Wii's sales. Nintendo's worst-selling home console ever. Dust gathers on the boxes in shops. For the 9 months ending December 2013, Nintendo posts a $15.3 million operating loss, the first annual net loss since 1981. The headlines are brutal. Nintendo is doomed. Iwata must go. Investors demand his resignation. The president who built the Wii, they want him fired. Iwata misses E3. He's having surgery. A bile duct growth. They say it was successfully removed. We are told he is fine. He is not fine. January 2014. He takes another 50% pay cut. He predicts a $335 million loss, but he refuses to fire anyone. Not one person. While the world calls for his head, Iwata is alone in a dark room, drawing something. A device that will merge everything. He sees early prototypes. Joy-Cons attached with magnets. They wobble. He shakes his head. It would make customers uneasy. They switch to rails.
Is the NX project. Our future is hybrid. We will bridge both worlds. Let's see how it works. We are merging handheld and console. This will redefine how people play games.
His final months, he is still the public face of Nintendo. He announces financial results in May 2015. He is still working, still asking questions. July 11th, 2015. Nintendo announces President Satoru Iwata passed away due to a bile duct growth. Fans gather in Kyoto. Over 4,000 people over 2 days. Some carry Nintendo 3DS systems. A typhoon is coming. No one leaves. 2 men stand together as the new leaders. One is stoic. The other is crying. The Wii U is dying. The Switch is just a concept. The development team continues. They work in silence. Every decision. What would he say? The magnet Joy-Cons are gone. The rails stay. Codename NX. Rumors swirl. What is Nintendo creating? The team works in secret. This is Iwata's last creation. The prototype comes together. A screen, 2 controllers that slide on, play at home on the TV and continue the same game on a train. The concept was approved in 2014. The Joy-Cons are designed for sharing. Local multiplayer anywhere, a park bench, or a living room couch. He wanted people to play together. October 20th, 2016. The reveal trailer. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. The Switch clicks into place. The world watches. March 3rd, 2017. Launch day. Lines around the block. 2.74 million units in the first month. The fastest selling console in Nintendo's history. It really works. The hybrid concept that sounded impossible becomes the center of every commute. The world locks down. Animal Crossing New Horizons becomes a lifeline. 32 million copies. The Switch becomes a connection when the world disconnects. Nintendo expands beyond games. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, Super Nintendo World Theme Park, merchandise everywhere. Nintendo records 1.9 trillion yen in 9 months, a 99% increase year on year. The company is now a $12 billion a year titan. The Nintendo Switch becomes the best-selling console in Nintendo history. Third best-selling of all time. Only the PlayStation 2 sold more. The Switch 2 launches. Over 70 million units in months. Iwata's connections that he built with consumers support the smooth launch, and his philosophy endures. Nintendo creates Ask the Developer, a spiritual successor to Iwata's interview series. In one episode, they say, "We took the prototypes to him for feedback." $6 billion in cash reserves. The fortress Hiroshi Yamauchi built after the oil crisis, still standing. Nintendo has never borrowed, never laid off thousands. They don't sell technology, they sell joy. And in an industry obsessed with power, Nintendo proves that heart is the only spec that matters. Iwata died before the Switch launched, but his fingerprints are on every unit, every shared Joy-Con, every game of Mario Kart on a train. This is Nintendo, the playing card company that outplayed everyone. And this is Company Stories 3D.